Welcome to Saddle Up Live. I'm really thankful that you're here. I was just out hiking and had so much inspiration that I wanted to jump in here and share it with you. And I'm hoping to get it done before people start walking in that door. That's right over there, right next to me. But this is what I wanted to share. You all know that my business has been changing just a little bit, still doing the work of mediations. That was my original business. And I think I came upon that by really a prayerful connection with what my true values were and trying to align my gifts better. And I felt like mediation was a little bit better than practicing law. But now, as I look through a different lens, a new lens, I'm really wanting to be successful, not really towards this world's terms, but I want to use my gifts and serve the world and just be filled. I have so much passion. I know we all do. I get so passionate about things and I want to use those gifts. So my business is changing, my website is changing. I'm adding some new online courses, and it really is to help you if you want to take one last ditch effort to save your marriage. I can help you. If you are, a mama whose kids are heading off to school or a grandma and you're looking, you want to feel better or, find some value in your life, I'm here for you. So those are all things that I'm doing. But it was funny because I'm always like growing and learning. And I was listening to a really good Tony Robbins YouTube video, which I'm going to go into more detail in another episode. But one of the things he talked about was aligning with God, and he had steps to get there because he said, if your purpose is in alignment with God, nothing can stop you. And success will look different because success for me is going to be different than you. We don't need to fall into what the world thinks. So, and he said, I think the first thing that he said was to the first person you talk to, have it be God. Like ask him, where do you want me to go today? How can I add value? And so that's one thing I'm going to start doing. But a lot of us kind of struggle with, well, what is my purpose? Right? Like, what's my purpose? And he talks about how your purpose is kind of something that you choose. That's it was in you. It's your calling. It was before you were born. And it has to do with your values and with your gifts and, with circumstances that have led you to where you are. And so one of the key things, right, is to figure out what your gifts are. So I was like, all right, I'm really trying to listen to God. So I went out on this hike and I'm like, God, show me what my gifts are. And I was like, going through the recesses of my mind, and I was like, kind of going back and forth, like, well, I guess I can do hard things. I went through that stage 1 breast cancer and chemo and all that stuff. And I've done marathons. I've been through law school. I can do hard things. Okay, is that a gift? I don't know. So I was thinking about that, and I actually kind of, I think, started feeling like maybe a little bit unworthy or bad. Like, well, I don't know. It's not like I've done anything really big, right? So you're thinking in the world, what is big? And then after walking for a while and really trying to listen, I realized the thing that I was most passionate about in my life was being a mama. And I got to birth 2 babies. I had the blessing of adopting a baby. And being a mother, now I was not perfect, but I was passionate. Nothing could stop me from doing whatever I felt in my heart was the right thing to do for my children. And it wasn't always right. You can just go ask them. They'll tell you all about it. But what I want you to know is what could be more success than that, than mothering? That's my gift, being a mama. And so I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a cool gift if you look at it that way. And then you look at like, he brought 3 amazing children into this world. And let me tell you, they're amazing because I'm their mom and I can tell you. But they're awesome, awesome people. And then they bring people into your lives, their friends, their spouses. Then the grandmaing comes in. That's mothering too. So now I get to like, oh, I love those grandbabies. I get to hold them and kiss them and love them. And I've got kiddos that want to be near me. So I get to be near their kids. And I get that. What? That's success. I get to have them all around me. And I think a big part of that mothering is the love and the nurturing and the teaching and the growing. And I can't help but believe that that's in my heart too. So I thought, you know what? I mean, maybe it's kind of the gift of mothering could include teaching and learning and growing. And so that's where this is all going. And it doesn't mean that because my kids are adults that I'm all done mothering, because you can mother even if you don't have children. You can mother your nieces and nephew. You can mother friends. You can nurture and love and teach and grow. And the really cool thing about the work that I get to do now is like I get to research. So I'm actually writing a book. Finally, I've been talking about it for so long. And that is one thing that God really put on my heart. And I'm just going for it. I'm taking action. And you know what? If it's only for me to heal, or if it's for something that's made for more, so be it. But I'm going to do it. And I'm starting on an 8-week course to get me through it with somebody who's going to help me in a couple of months. So stay tuned. That's all coming down the line. And that will probably be my first thing. And that I can mother. I can mother by sharing what I've learned, by caring, by loving, and being passionate about it. Because I really do want us gals to suffer less, to connect more, and to just live happier, more fulfilled lives. And if we're feeling like our gifts are of no value, that's just not true. That's just, I mean, fiddlesticks. That's not true. Mothering is probably the most important thing we do because every little human does something, and it doesn't have to be that you're, making $1 million. It can be that you get to live a healthy, loving life with family nearby. So I guess I just wanted to get in here and share that with you. And I invite you to look at what your gifts are. I'm going to keep exploring it, and don't put them down because maybe it's not what the world thinks. And also, like, there are some that I felt like, well, that's kind of braggy. Like, I don't want to say that I'm good at that. You know what? It's okay. You can say, you want to know why? Because we're all unique and we're all made by God and we all have our special things. And it doesn't make anyone better than anyone else, but you get to see what God gave you because, well, wouldn't it be a sin if you didn't? If you didn't realize the gifts that you think are too much. So isn't it funny? Like you can think, well, that's too much. I'm thinking too highly of myself with that gift. And that gift doesn't mean anything. That's not true. It's not true. God created us all and we're to let our light shine. And I don't have the gifts that you have. And so share them with me or, whatever. If it's not about sharing it or teaching it, in some way you're adding value to this world and we're all there. And I also started to realize that when I was so concerned with what the world and what people thought, it was actually very selfish. And that's not how I want to live. I want to serve the world and my family. And so by focusing more on being aligned with God in my purpose, I can look at bigger things and really move forward. So I'm going to be talking about this more in future podcasts, but I just heard that car pull up in the driveway. So we're going to have some people coming in this door. And so I'm going to cut this off. So this is a really quick Saddle Up Live, but I hope it's meaningful for you. And I just hope that you can start thinking about what your gifts are. And as we go along, I'll keep adding things to it and sharing with you. And I'll have failures along the way. We all do, but they're not bad things. They're stepping stones. And I'm not going to see them as obstacles. I'm going to see them as growth and I'm going to share them with all of you. So thanks for being here. Take good care.